when you won the Mania main event, right? Retaining champion over John Cena. When you look back at that moment, because obviously The Rock was heavily involved with Cena himself, do you count that as like an added part of an amazing moment for you, or is it kind of like, they had that Cena Rock moment along with my moment?
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I know The Miz would have to say, like, I want my moment.
Yeah.
The Miz would also say, I made my moment, and they were my shadows.
Mm-hmm.
But to be The Rock, like, so when I was on a show called The Real World, I got done with that show, and I asked myself in the mirror, like, what did I want to do with the rest of my life? And The Rock's action figure was up on a stand. My castmates got me because they knew I love wrestling. They're like, hey, we bought you as a going away gift a Rock action figure. I'm like, thanks. Put it on my shelf, you know. And then I looked at that Rock figure and I was like, I want to become a WWE superstar. And so that's kind of where my journey began. So literally being able to have The Rock come back for the first time in like 10 years and be a part of my. I was his first match back.
Yeah, exactly.
And then not only that, like, you know, WrestleMania and doing all these things, like it was a dream come true.
Was that the first period you really got to know him at all? Like,
yeah.
Kind of working alongside him?
And you know, it's funny, so with WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, I had to do the Marine 3. I went to do my first movie. Yeah. Nervous. I went with my acting coach. I made sure I knew everything, top to bottom, what my character is, how he reacts to certain things, who he is as an embodiment, everything. And so I was about to go do my first scene, and I was like, you know what? I'll just text The Rock, see if he has any advice before I go. I was like, hey man, I'm about to shoot my first movie, lead. Any advice you can give me? And literally, I was about to walk out, and I get a call. Rock. Talked to him for like 20 minutes, like just about everything. And the number one I got out of it was, and it's a great thing, it's like, just be natural. Whoever your character is, whatever your character does, be natural. There's too many times we're thinking about, oh, where do I got to step? What line do I have to hit? The light's right there. Okay, this is right there. There's 45 cameras going. Okay, and you lose sight of it. Just be natural. Get lost in the scene. And so it was great advice, and I still use it to this day.
Awesome thing as well, I know we have to wrap up now because there's a cacophony of people waiting to speak to The Miz. It's WrestleMania weekend, bearing in mind. Getting your respect as well. I was very happy when you got that last Money in the Bank win, right? Because I feel like there was years of work that went to that. I think I've told you before, the IC run you had with SmackDown, I thought it was great. Coming out of the locker room, you've spoken about this story a lot, about where you was banned, and it was The Undertaker that brought you back in, right? Was that the start of gaining respect from him as well, and like a different path, kind of getting to know him properly? Or
I think that's a question for him. Yeah. But to me, yes. It was not only a respect from Undertaker, but if Undertaker shows you respect, it trickles down. Yeah. And everyone starts throwing you a little bit more bones.
What did that do for you as well? A new lease of life, like in front of the camera?
Yeah, absolutely.
As well?
Definitely a new lease on life. And man, it's like to be able to be back in the locker room, you felt like part of the boys again. You know, you felt like part of like the team.
Exactly. And we go from that to hosting WrestleMania this weekend, man.
There it is.
Look, I'm trying to be as good a host as The Miz. You can only
You did a great job.
I think Bianca and I were going to have our time at a different stage, whether that be at a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or anything. I just feel like
it's there.
It's going to come back to me and Bianca, and it's going to be like, these are the two girls that are changing the women's division and taking over, and they're going head to head, and it's going to be a battle of who wants to lead the women's division now.